Well, hello everyone. Is everyone here ready for what may honestly be one of the greatest Mega Man games of all time? I know I sure am. Blah. Honestly, I am never ready for this. No matter how many times I've played it, I swear I learned something new every single time. But hello everyone. It's very hard to get Mega Man DOS to fit in a screen properly. So, huge shout outs to the people running this stream for Powered Up with Pride. They are the best, seriously. So if we are super ready to go here. Whoa, estimate 25 minutes. Don't worry guys, it will not take this long. Yeah, so as you guys can see, this is Mega Man DOS. I can run it in several different graphics and colors too to make it look even worse. But it's not that bad. Now, I will say this game does have the absolute best Mega Man soundtrack, which is literally nothing. There is no music to this game. So we'll just try to sing along as best as we can. If everyone is ready to go here, though, I might as well count down. Just want to make sure. Don't want to do anything good. All right, we are ready to go. Let's see if I have a good run today, guys. In 3, 2, 1. All right, so here's the fun part about this game. You know how a lot of Mega Man games have intro stages? This intro stage has Gregory the dog. It's not actually his name. He doesn't have a name. But my stream chat decided one day that his name was Gregory, and so that's how it works. Now here's the deal with this dog. You can kill him, but he will instantaneously come back and kill you. And no matter what, you have to get hit by him once during this intro stage. There is no way to entirely avoid him, no matter how hard you try. It's a very weird intro stage that makes so little sense. Also, if you decide to go backwards instead of trying to complete the level, the game gets really wild, which is really fun. Here we go. There's a little strategy there. You have to get hit at one point before you're allowed to be able to get through that wall, because those walls have their own explosions. Also, sometimes you get hit once or twice here. It really depends on how those guns decide to feel. But as long as we're facing backwards, we don't lose any time. Also, introduction to the worst, I think, enemies ever in any Mega Man game, the frogs. Frogs are a pain in the butt because there's no way to actually reasonably hit them every time they come up on screen. And darn. Okay, sometimes these fish are manipulated by where you've been standing and jumping, and sometimes they like to cooperate, and then other times they don't let you do that first jump. What I was attempting to do is to be able to pull off something for a oh my gosh, what is that sizzling? I was trying to pull off something called an angel cycle on these upcoming pipes that shoot out flames. Unfortunately, unless you do this perfectly, it just does not happen. It's a very... Welcome to Mega Man DOS, a game literally created by one guy who no longer worked for Capcom, and Capcom was like, you know what? We'll let you make a Capcom game, an officially licensed Mega Man title. But yeah, normally you can skip those second 2 pipes right there, but since the fish decided to not fully cooperate, we're a little doomed. These electronic parts, too, are also very confusing. Your pixel, if you just get even the tiniest of toe touches on there, you get hit, and it's for a lot of damage, and it's a pain in the butt. But, you know, gotta do what you can here. Now, if we jump up this early and fast enough, we get to avoid that bat, and you have to jump once to avoid the second one. Now we're about to fight 2 various frogs, which again, there's no way to crouch, there's no sliding. Ooh, got lucky. Now, a lot of times you end up taking damage there just to go faster. And for this run, especially in general, I'm expecting to take quite a bit of damage here and there, which is unfortunately the marathon safe strat is to get to the boss at worst and then die. Is the actual safest strat for this game, to my knowledge, for marathon, because without a little bit of luck, you're going to take too much damage to be able to kill the final boss on your first try. It sucks, but it's just how the game is. Now for maybe the worst block puzzle of all time. If you don't know to jump there at just that right moment while that block is spawning, you're stuck. There is literally no way to save yourself. And as you guys can all notice, all we have is beeping noises. Now, I will try to take on this boss. The chances of me being able to actually win with such little life are basically astronomically low, but, you know, we gotta try. Wow, okay, guys, this is an actual, like, run here. We're having a little bit of luck. Darn, jumped a little too early there. The higher up you get on that, the faster that loads. Now we have Voltman stage. Now this one is also very much fun. There's electrical wires and crazy floating parrots around. And if you do this perfectly, you get a really good route where you get to go really fast. Some of the parrots fly over you, all kinds of stuff. If you mess it up a single time, there is no recovering. You just end up getting hit like 50 bajillion times by enemies. I have not been able to find an alternative route. And now, Mega Man's a robot, right? Is there a reason that mosquitoes can hurt him? These mosquitoes are some of the most evil enemies in the game, and as you can see, I have to walk incredibly slowly. This is not by choice, it's because those little magnetic things force you to. And if you don't do this perfectly and kill all the mosquitoes, you will get knocked back to infinity and instantaneously die. Welcome again to Mega Man DOS. You can sometimes skip past a few of the mosquitoes, but it changes how the mosquitoes spawn for the rest of the level, so it's a giant pain in the butt. Here's this friend too. Now the fastest way to get through this section is to actually take damage there, because it gives you the perfect timing to get through that electric point. As you can see, that spinning thing right there ends up pulling us back towards the middle. And now that I accidentally got hit, which happens at times, it can be a pain in the butt to be able to actually get through on that cycle fast enough. We have some spiders. You can shoot them, but it's honestly easier for me to just jump over them for the most part. Apparently, I'm going to get hit by one today. And as you saw, there was that health there, but making that jump to get that health takes a lot of extra time and is not needed. And as you can see, we're trying to get as many of those mosquitoes off as possible because it's mostly for convenience. The mosquito spawns, for some reason in this, whenever you kill one, another one shows up. So no matter what, you get screwed by mosquitoes. There's no way to actually perfectly shoot them to save yourself. Now we're going to be really brave right here. No! Oh, that's really unfortunate. Okay, so guys, this is not a checkpoint. We unfortunately have to go all the way back to the beginning. Normally that jump is really easy to make. I guess the DOS gods have decided to torture me today. This is why we have a 15-minute estimate. It's just for safety. So next time we will wait on the extra cycle just to be extra safe. It won't take us too long to get right back through here and back to our spikies. Don't worry about it, guys. It's okay. And I should just make it. There we go. I guess no world records today on stream. How unfortunate. Another exciting thing about this game. A lot of people, a lot of these games we're talking about, oh, maybe we can go in different boss orders or do whatever else. If you try to beat this game not going in just the normal boss order, you are an insane person. It is almost impossible to get through the one of the last levels before we actually hit up the Wily levels without the Volt power-up. Now come on, let me up here. As I said, no matter what, you get screwed over by mosquitoes. So you kind of just have to pick your poison on how you want to be screwed over by mosquitoes. If you happen to go and get one of the worst power-up weapons in the game early, you can go over there and get an energy tank. But yeah, it's really bad. And now we have this nice little block thing. Now we're going to take a leap of faith, and there we go. We just barely made it. There's another leap of faith we could take, but we're not going to because it's way harder, and I would like to not have to go all the way back to the beginning again. Now we're heading down here. There's a lot of water in these Mega Man games. You'll notice this in the next Mega Man DOS game too. And as you can see here, I'm putting out some bullets to try to get that frog out of the way. Man, just barely did it. The frog is a pain in the butt. Frogs in this game are really hard to hit. You can only hit them when they're jumping, or if you just happen to have a bullet on screen at the correct time. So, yeah, we're going to get hit by a frog at least once. Thankfully, not twice. Now, if we do this correctly, there will be a bug that keeps coming to try to show up and ruin our day. However, if we keep jumping at the correct time, we can manage to kill it. There we go. Keeping us on the fastest path to victory. Great! An utter victory, hopefully, for Mega Man. Now, this game, for fun facts, for everyone watching, this game is done by literally one programmer. One. His company was hired on to just maybe have an internal PC game studio at Capcom. And when that didn't happen, he's just like, hey, could I just keep making this Mega Man game that I was making? And they were like, sure. And so he made Mega Man DOS. Now, as you can see here, we're taking that extra hit early so that we'll be able to kill him in one cycle, because waiting for 2 cycles is a giant pain. He only bounces once for the first cycle and then bounces like 3 times for any other cycle after. Now this is Dynaman, who again probably has the worst weapon that you pick up from a boss in the entirety of Mega Man history, and I'm pretty willing to debate that with anyone who wants to. It's bad. It doesn't work. Yes, there's a boss that's weak to it, but there's no way you will ever hit a boss with that weapon. It is awful. And we are using this Volt power-up to, as much as possible, try to avoid these nails. Because those nails, you know, they set us back. They make us go slow. That's not a great thing. Also, that bug that just spawned under me does not always spawn. I have no idea why it shows up only sometimes. Absolutely no clue. Now, you'd think this trash would hurt us, but in fact, jumping in the trash actually raises your voltmeter. Why? No idea. Again, this is Mega Man DOS. Now, this is an incredibly dangerous section, because if you don't get this jump right, you end up in this lava pit, and the only way to get out of the lava pit is by being all the way at the end and jumping on one of those 2 blocks, which takes forever. But if you thought that was bad, how about a part of the game that is completely inescapable if you make a mistake? That jump that I just made, if you make a mistake, there is no way to jump back up, so you just die. You have to sit there and wait for your death. There is literally no recovery. There is nothing you can physically do to save yourself. You're dying. Oh, no. Okay, come on. There we go. That is a fortunately able to be recovered strat. Now, let's see here. For the most part, these lava drips won't actually hit you if you're going fast enough. A little bit off on that one. We don't want to use too much Volt, because if you try to get through this last boss, Dynaman, without any Volt in your system, it's a pretty torturous fight. Dynaman has to be manipulated in the first place to even be able to be hit reasonably for a fast fight at all. And trust me, on my world record run, I did not manipulate him correctly. It is an incredibly stupid manipulation. I'm not sure if he's RNG for what he does or not. And now these things that you would think would hurt you don't. They also, yet again, boost you up with have even more Volt power. And after that, we're going to get another power-up, because at least the creator of this game knew that if you're going through this, you're probably going to use Volt, because we're about to come up on these ants. And if you don't wait to Volt on these ants, you literally just have to damage boost through all of them. Using any of the other boosted power-ups to get through this stage is really difficult. There is the S power-up, which allows like the beam to bounce around the stage, but getting him to actually hit the ant properly is a giant pain. Now what we're going to do is we're going to turn around and try to jump, and nope, he didn't do it. If you manage to do that, he will do a weird jump and not shoot a rocket for some reason or another, even though he normally would every single time. And then you are able to avoid actually just taking the hitbox from being next to him, because if you're facing backwards for some reason or another in Mega Man DOS, this game decides to just not let certain things hit you. I cannot explain it to you for the life of me. And of course, again, we have no music, so sometimes you just have to make your own. It's the best you can do to keep the hype up. And another fun fact, as you can see, even though we're loading into the stage, the boss's hitboxes are already loaded, so we can get those first 3 shots off on him. If you do this fight crazy good, it's super fast. And we don't have to worry at all about the damage that we're taking there, because there's about to be a health pack just waiting for us. Now we're going to also take the Volt. Now technically there is a faster way to do this if you just shoot perfectly than using the Volt power up, and it's a little bit safer at the end, so you don't have to take this small pit stop that you'd need to make. However, it's almost impossible to get those mosquitoes. I was trying to do that run for forever, and when I finally gave up, that's when I got the world record. And darn, and the jumping angles, for some reason, for that particular section, are a little bit different than all the other spiders in the game. Again, why? I don't know. Welcome to Mega Man DOS. Alright, there we go. Now for sure, when you do this, you want to make sure that you keep that S up for the moment when you go over there to get that power up. because we need to have that boost to beat the final boss when we go to fight Wily. He'll be in a nice little robot. Also, just watching this game, I know that you guys probably can't quite tell. The controls in this are the definition of the word sluggish. They are very weird, and like if you play this game, you just kind of have to get used to it, or you just... I don't even know how to explain it. It has a different feel than any other Mega Man game, and I've tried to play a bunch more. We'll try to manipulate him again. Almost got him. There we go. And fortunately, also, we haven't had the incredibly rare glitch where, for some reason, for no reason whatsoever, you'll just randomly glitch into the floor. Now, these guys right here are also very fun. You can try to vault, you can try to shoot them with things. No matter what, you're getting hit. And this is not just a speedrun strategy or anything like that. You will get damage boosted and hit through this guy. There is literally no way to save yourself. You're doomed! Now that we've gotten through here, as you can see, they basically beef you up for the final fight. We don't need that beef up because we're speedrunners and we're trying to go fast. If you jump down to this second ledge, by the way, these will hit slightly faster. Oh, there we go. Didn't quite switch to volts. I don't know why. I must have had a misclick there. And that's... One more second here. Time! Thank you for enjoying a quick run of Mega Man DOS. I appreciate it. This is an incredibly weird Mega Man game. Stay tuned. Up next, guys, we already have another Mega Man DOS game, which I have tons and tons of awesome fun facts about. And if you liked what you saw here, guys, a quick shout out for myself, just a little bit. If you would be willing to give me a quick follow on Twitch, I'm at LiteralGrill. I'd super appreciate it. And with that, I shall bid you adieu for now and hopefully bring about the wondrous glory of Mega Man DOS 3.